everyone, welcome to Bio Secrets. Today we will discuss top 50 MCQs of class 11th chapter Respiration in Plants. Let's start from question number 1. Which of the following is the correct sequence of events in aerobic respiration? Answer is option A. First process is glycolysis, then Krebs cycle and then oxidative phosphorylation. In aerobic respiration, glucose is first broken down into pyruvate in glycolysis, then enters the Krebs cycle, and finally electrons from NADH and FADH2 are used in oxidative phosphorylation. Okay? कि एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन में फर्स्ट प्रोसेस होता है ग्लाइकोलाइसिस, जिसमें क्या होगा कि ग्लूकोज ब्रेक डाउन होगा और पायरुवेट फॉर्म करेगा. Now after glycolysis, Krebs cycle starts and finally electrons from NADH and FADH2 used in oxidative phosphorylation. Question number 2. The end product of glycolysis is, answer is option C. Pyruvate is the end product of glycolysis. Pyruvic acid is the key product of glycolysis. Okay. Glycolysis breaks into two molecules of pyruvate which then enter aerobic or anaerobic pathways. ग्लाइकोलाइसिस में ग्लूकोज ब्रेक डाउन होगा, टू मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ पायरुवेट फॉर्म करेगा. फिर ये जो टू मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ पायरुवेट फॉर्म होंगे ग्लाइकोलाइसिस में, वो फिर एंटर करते हैं एरोबिक और एनारोबिक पाथवेज में. नाउ कम टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. विच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग प्रोसेसेस टेक्स प्लेस इन द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया? आंसर इज ऑप्शन सी. Krebs cycle takes place in mitochondria. The Krebs cycle, also called citric acid cycle, occurs in the mitochondrial matrix where glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm. देखिए Krebs cycle को citric acid cycle भी बोलते हैं. And where does Krebs cycle occurs? Krebs cycle occurs in the mitochondrial matrix. Where does glycolysis occurs? So glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm. Now come to question number 4. Which of the following is not produced in the Krebs cycle? Answer is option D. Pyruvate is not produced in the Krebs cycle. Because pyruvate is produced at the end of glycolysis and enters the Krebs cycle after conversion to acetyl coenzyme A. देखिए glycolysis का end product है pyruvate. Pyruvate convert होगा acetyl coenzyme A में. फिर acetyl coenzyme में Krebs cycle में enter करता है. Now come to question number 5. Which of the following is 6-carbon compound in the Krebs cycle? Answer is option B. Citrate is the 6-carbon compound in Krebs cycle. So citrate is a 6-carbon compound formed when acetyl coenzyme A, 2-carbon compound, combines with oxaloacetate, 4-carbon compound. So 2 plus 4, 6-carbon compound is citrate. Question number 6. The site of glycolysis in plant cells is cytoplasm. So option B is correct for question number 6. Glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm of all the cells. Now come to question number 7. The enzyme that catalyzes the first step of glycolysis is. Answer is option A. Hexokinase is the enzyme that catalyzes the first step of glycolysis. Okay. Hexokinase catalyzes the phosphorylation of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, the first step in glycolysis. ग्लाइकोलाइसिस का फर्स्ट स्टेप है ग्लूकोज का ग्लूकोज 6-फॉस्फेट में कन्वर्जन, और ये कन्वर्जन हेक्सोकाइनेज एंजाइम की प्रेजेंस में होता है. ओके. क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. इन ग्लाइकोलाइसिस द नेट गेन ऑफ एटीपी मॉलिक्यूल्स पर मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ ग्लूकोज इज 2. सो आंसर इज ऑप्शन सी फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 8. ग्लाइकोलाइसिस में 1 ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल से कितने मॉलिक्यूल्स प्रोड्यूस होते हैं एटीपी के? 2 मॉलिक्यूल्स. देखिए glycolysis produces 4 ATPs but 2 are used up during the process, leading to a net gain of 2 ATP molecules. देखिए glycolysis में वैसे तो 4 molecules produce होंगे ATP के, but 2 molecules used हो जाते हैं during the process of glycolysis. So net gain of ATP कितने molecules होते हैं? 2 molecules. Question number 9. How many molecules of NADH are produced per glucose molecule during glycolysis? Answer is option B. 2 molecules of NADH are produced per glucose molecule during glycolysis. तो ATP के भी 2 molecules produce होते हैं 1 glucose molecule से during glycolysis, और NADH के भी 2 molecules produce होते हैं during glycolysis per glucose molecule. In glycolysis, 2 NADH molecules are produced per glucose molecule. Question number 10. The total number of ATP molecules produced from 1 molecule of glucose during aerobic respiration एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन में 1 ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल से कितने मॉलिक्यूल्स प्रोड्यूस होते हैं एटीपी के? आंसर इज ऑप्शन डी 38. Complete aerobic oxidation of 1 glucose molecule typically yields 38 ATP, 2 from glycolysis, 2 from Krebs cycle, and 34 from oxidative phosphorylation. Question number 11. How many NADH molecules are produced during complete aerobic oxidation of 1 glucose molecule? Option C. 10 NADH molecules are produced during complete aerobic oxidation of 1 glucose molecule. देखिए 1 ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल से ग्लाइकोलाइसिस में 2 NADH मॉलिक्यूल प्रोड्यूस होते हैं. पायरुवेट टू एसिटाइल कोएंजाइम में जब लिंक रिएक्शन होती है तब उसमें भी 2 NADH मॉलिक्यूल प्रोड्यूस होते हैं. क्रेब्स साइकिल में 6 NADH मॉलिक्यूल प्रोड्यूस होते हैं. सो 2 फ्रॉम ग्लाइकोलाइसिस, 2 फ्रॉम लिंक रिएक्शन एंड 6 फ्रॉम क्रेब्स साइकिल. So total 10 NADH molecules are produced from 1 glucose molecule. Now come to question number 12. How many molecules of ATP are produced from 1 molecule of NADH during oxidative phosphorylation? Answer is option C. 3 molecules of ATP are produced from 1 NADH. 1 NADH is equals to 3 ATP molecules. So 1 NADH generates approximately 3 ATP molecules via the electron transport chain. Question number 13. In the link reaction, how many molecules of NADH are produced per glucose molecule? 2 molecules of NADH are produced per glucose molecule in link reaction. Okay. So each glucose yields 2 pyruvate molecule. Each pyruvate form 1 NADH molecule when converted to acetyl coenzyme A. So total 2 NADH molecules are produced. Question number 13. Number of ATP molecules generated directly in one turn of the Krebs cycle, excluding electron transport chain. Answer is option A. 1 ATP molecule generated directly in one turn of the Krebs cycle. Okay. 1 GTP equivalent to 1 ATP, and this is generated per cycle via substrate level phosphorylation. Now come to question number 14. Which step of aerobic respiration produces FADH2? So succinic acid to fumaric acid is the step of aerobic respiration which produces FADH2. So option C is correct for question number 14. FAD is reduced to FADH2 during the conversion of succinate to fumarate in the Krebs cycle. Question number 15. Respiratory quotient RQ is calculated as, what is RQ? So during aerobic respiration, oxygen is consumed and CO2 is released. The ratio of volume of CO2 evolved to the volume of oxygen consumed in respiration is called respiratory quotient. So option C is correct for question number 15. CO2 released upon oxygen consumed. RQ is equals to volume of CO2 released upon volume of O2 consumed. So RQ is 1 for glucose, is smaller than 1 for fat and greater than 1 for organic acid. Question number 16. Which of the following will have an RQ greater than 1? Answer is option D. Organic acid will have an RQ greater than 1. Organic acids require less oxygen for oxidation than CO2, so produce RQ value greater than 1. Question number 17. Respiratory quotient RQ value for protein is, answer is option B. 0.9 is the RQ value of protein. RQ value for protein is usually around 0.8 to 0.9 due to intermediate oxygen demand and CO2 output. Question number 18. If RQ value is 0.7, the substrate is most likely. Answer is option C, fat. Fats require more oxygen for oxidation. So CO2 released is less than O2 consumed. RQ value is less than 1, around 0.7. Okay. Question number 19. What is the RQ value for fat respiration? Answer is option B, less than 1. Fats require more oxygen for oxidation compared to the CO2 released. So RQ value for fat is smaller than 1. Question number 20. The respiratory quotient RQ value of glucose is, answer is option B, 1. RQ is equals to CO2 produced upon O2 consumed. So carbohydrates like glucose, it equals to 1. Respiratory quotient of glucose during aerobic respiration is, answer is option C, equal to 1. For carbohydrates like glucose, the amount of oxygen consumed equal to the amount of CO2 released. So RQ value for carbohydrate is equal to 1. Now come to question number 22. In plants, anaerobic respiration results in the form of, answer is option B, ethanol and CO2 produced in case of anaerobic respiration in plants. In anaerobic condition, plants perform fermentation converting pyruvate to ethanol and carbon dioxide. Anaerobic conditions में plants perform करते हैं fermentation और fermentation में pyruvate convert होता है ethanol and carbon dioxide में. Question number 23. Which enzyme catalyzes the conversion to pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme A? Answer is option C. Pyruvate dehydrogenase enzyme catalyzes the conversion of pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme A. Pyruvate dehydrogenase converts pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme A before it enters the Krebs cycle. देखिए पायरुवेट एसिटाइल कोएंजाइम ए में कन्वर्ट होता है लिंक रिएक्शन में, ठीक है, और पायरुवेट डीहाइड्रोजिनेज की प्रेजेंस में ये रिएक्शन होती है. फिर एसिटाइल कोएंजाइम ए क्रेब्स साइकिल में एंटर करता है. Question number 24. The enzyme that catalyzes the first step of glycolysis is, answer is option A, hexokinase. So hexokinase catalyzes the phosphorylation of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate, the first step in glycolysis. Question number 25. The link reaction between glycolysis and the Krebs cycle is, answer is option C, acetyl coenzyme A. Pyruvate is converted into acetyl coenzyme A by pyruvate dehydrogenase. Acetyl coenzyme A enters the Krebs cycle. Now come to question number 26. During aerobic respiration, the maximum number of ATP molecules are formed in, answer is option C, electron transport chain. Produces maximum number of ATP molecules during aerobic respiration. The electron transport chain ETC generates the most ATP through oxidative phosphorylation. Question number 27. Which step in aerobic respiration involves substrate level phosphorylation? Answer is option B, formation of pyruvate from PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate. Substrate level phosphorylation occurs during conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate in glycolysis. Question number 28. Which product is not formed during anaerobic respiration in yeast? Answer is option C. Lactic acid is not formed during anaerobic respiration in yeast. Yeast produces ethanol and CO2 under anaerobic conditions. Lactic acid is formed in muscle cells. देखिए anaerobic conditions में yeast में क्या प्रोड्यूस होगा? इथेनॉल और CO2. लैक्टिक एसिड anaerobic respiration जब muscle cells में होता है तब प्रोड्यूस होता है. Question number 29. Which intermediate of glycolysis gets oxidized to form 1,3-biphosphoglycerate? Answer is option A. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is the intermediate of glycolysis gets oxidized to form 1,3-biphosphoglycerate. So glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate G3P is oxidized and phosphorylated to 1,3-BPG by G3P dehydrogenase. Question number 30. Which of the following is a 6-carbon compound in the Krebs cycle? Answer is option C. Malate is the 6-carbon compound in the Krebs cycle. Answer is option B. Citrate is the 6-carbon compound in the Krebs cycle. Citrate is a 6-carbon compound. Citrate is a 6-carbon compound formed when acetyl coenzyme A, this is 2-carbon compound, combines with oxaloacetate. Oxaloacetate is 4-carbon compound. Now come to question number 31. Where does the Krebs cycle occur in plant cells? Answer is option C. Mitochondrial matrix is the place where Krebs cycle occur in plant cells. So the enzyme for Krebs cycle are located in the mitochondrial matrix. Now come to question number 32. Which of the following processes does not occur in mitochondria? Answer is option C. Glycolysis takes place in cytoplasm, so it does not occur in mitochondria. Glycolysis takes place in cytoplasm. The other processes occur in mitochondria. Question number 33. The final electron acceptor in the electron transport chain is, answer is option C, oxygen. Oxygen is the terminal electron acceptor and combines with electrons and protons to form water. Question number 34. During anaerobic respiration in muscle cells, which product is formed? Answer is option C. Lactic acid is formed during anaerobic respiration in muscle cells. In animal muscle cells, under low oxygen, pyruvate is reduced to lactic acid to regenerate NAD+. Now come to question number 35. In the electron transport chain, ATP is formed by, answer B is correct here, oxidative phosphorylation. This process uses the proton gradient generated by electron transport chain to synthesize ATP via ATP synthase. Question number 36. In plants, fermentation occurs in, answer is option D, cytoplasm. Both glycolysis and fermentation, anaerobic breakdown of pyruvate occur in cytoplasm. Question number 37. In the electron transport chain, the maximum number of ATPs is produced from electrons donated by? Answer is option B, NADH. Each NADH yields 3 ATP while FADH2 yields 2 ATP. NADH enters earlier in the electron transport chain. Question number 38. In glycolysis, the conversion of PAP to pyruvate is catalyzed by? Answer is option B, pyruvate dehydrogenase. So this is the final step of glycolysis and involves substrate level phosphorylation producing ATP. Question number 39. In the electron transport chain, ATP is formed by? Answer is option B, oxidative phosphorylation. This process uses the proton gradient generated by the electron transport chain to synthesize ATP via ATP synthase. Question number 40. Which of the following statements is true about glycolysis? Answer is option D. It produces ATP without oxygen. This is true statement about glycolysis. Glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm and does not require oxygen. It's common to both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. देखिए ग्लाइकोलाइसिस साइटोप्लाज्म में होता है और इसके लिए ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट भी नहीं होती है, इसीलिए ये एरोबिक और एनारोबिक दोनों पाथवेज में कॉमन होता है. मींस एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन हो या एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन हो, दोनों में ग्लाइकोलाइसिस तो फर्स्ट स्टेप होता ही है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 41. Which product is common to both alcoholic and lactic acid fermentation? Answer is option C, NAD+. Both types of fermentation regenerate NAD+, allowing glycolysis to continue in the absence of oxygen. Question number 42. Which of the following is an inhibitor of the electron transport chain? Answer is option A. Cyanide is an inhibitor of the electron transport chain. Cyanide blocks cytochrome oxidase, stopping electron flow and halting ATP production. Question number 43. What happens to the high energy electrons carried by NADH and FADH2 in aerobic respiration? Answer is option C. It transferred through the electron transport chain to produce ATP. So these electrons help pump protons across the inner mitochondrial membrane, driving ATP synthesis. Now come to question number 44. When malate is converted to oxaloacetate, the reaction is catalyzed by? Malate dehydrogenase. So option A is correct for question number 44. The final step of the Krebs cycle also generates NADH. Question number 45. Which of the following occurs in both aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Answer is option C. Glycolysis occurs in both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm and does not require oxygen. So it takes place in both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Question number 46. Which of these is a 4-carbon compound in the Krebs cycle? Answer is option C. Fumarate is the 4-carbon compound in the Krebs cycle. So fumarate is a 4-carbon intermediate formed after succinate is oxidized by succinate dehydrogenase. So fumarate is a 4-carbon intermediate formed after succinate is oxidized by succinate dehydrogenase. Question number 47. Which of the following is a 5-carbon compound in the Krebs cycle? Answer is alpha ketoglutarate. So option B is correct for question number 47. Alpha ketoglutarate is a 5-carbon intermediate formed after isocitrate is decarboxylated. Question number 48. During fermentation in yeast, pyruvate is first converted. Answer is option C, acetaldehyde. So pyruvate is decarboxylated to acetaldehyde, which is then reduced to ethanol. Question number 49. When malate is converted to oxaloacetate, the reaction is catalyzed by? Answer is option A, malate dehydrogenase. So this final step of Krebs cycle also generates NADH. Now come to the last question of this chapter, question number 50. Which compound combines with acetyl coenzyme A to form citrate in the Krebs cycle? Answer is option A. Oxaloacetate combines with acetyl coenzyme A to form citrate in Krebs cycle. So acetyl coenzyme A 2-carbon compound condenses with oxaloacetate 4-carbon compound to form citrate. This is 6-carbon compound and starting the Krebs cycle. So all the 50 MCQs of this chapter completes here. In the next video, we will discuss top 50 MCQs of next chapter. If my video is helpful for you, then please like, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you so much.